Goose and Griz off leash. Hey, Griz, come here. He's looking for a place to shit. I'll give him some. I don't want him in the weeds, but he's already going. He's going to the bathroom. We'll give Griz privacy. So I don't see anybody here really. We had some landscapers, but they're gone. Are you done? Okay. Got some landscapers, but they're gone. We got a heat advisory today, so we're not going to be out here long. And Griz is going home soon. Figure we do one last live stream with the both of them before we go. Right, guys? This is going to be more of a fun one, though. I don't really see one here, so if the dogs just want to play, I will allow that. Good boy. You're doing great. You're doing great, yeah. You're doing great. You know, Griz did so good yesterday. And Goose can't handle, she can't be out here too long in this kind of heat. Good boy. Yeah. So, this will be a short one, unfortunately. But I don't really see anybody, so we're going to be a little bit more lenient with Griz. But all the same things apply. You know what we did yesterday? Good boy. You know, if we see anybody, that's when we need to intervene. Good open spaces like this are great for, you know, testing your dog off leash. Like if you know your dog's not going to run away, that's the starting point. Like if I take the leash off, is my dog going to stay with me? If the answer, if you have 100% trust that your dog will not run away, good boy. And a big open field would be a place I would do it. And then from there, it's just making sure that the things in the environment, since there's a lot of space, you can handle those things efficiently. There's a lot of space between you and another person, so okay, we got a runner. So I'm just gonna grab Grizzy's collar real quick. We'll let the runner pass. Right, buddy. We'll let the runner pass. I'm not worried about Goose, obviously. Good boy. The other part of it too is, you know, if I hold Griz in place when people pass, then that is a sign to him that, good morning, hi, that I don't want him to approach that person, right? So that is my way of telling him, just leave him alone. Do not engage. Excellent job, Griz, good boy. And there's Goose. You see how hard, we've literally just come out here. You hear how hard she's breathing already? So we're not going to be out here long. Got a heat advisory today, so although I think we might get some nice storms later. I would love that. But anyway, when you have multiple dogs out off leash, right? They are going to influence each other a little bit differently. So you have to take that into consideration. So that's why I got to be completely sound with both dogs. I got to understand, okay, neither dog is if I have them both off leash at the same time, neither dog is going to run away or turn it into this game. It's okay that they play with each other, but you don't want them to be getting out of control, right? When things start to escalate too much and the dogs are kind of, there's too much play and it's all on their terms, that's when I step in. It's like, all right, let's calm it down. Once you get to a spot that you've designated for play, that would be more appropriate. Like when we're on the trail, you know, let's just stick to walking, right? Let's just stick to walking. Oh, I'm sorry, Goose. What you think, Goose? Can you handle the long way or what? What do you think? Should we go the other way? You know what? We'll go, because we can always cut through the field. We'll go the longer way. You be all right with that? Okay, good boy, Griz. You see, he's not. What I'm looking for is, we already know Goose. I don't even worry about Goose. It's Griz. You know, the focus is on Griz. Goose is gonna follow Shane. She's not gonna go too far. Griz will still go. You know, he'll put a little bit of distance, but the goal is to decrease that distance over time, and he did that. He did really well with that yesterday, where he was going even further, or I'm sorry, the distance he was putting between me and him was even less yesterday. But now we're adding Goose into that equation, and that can change things. So like what he's doing now. Hey, come here. Come here. Good boy. Yeah, I don't want that much distance. Yeah, good boy. We don't want that much space. Hey. All right, nice job. Uh-oh, well, it's got to go again. We'll give Griz a little bit of privacy. He's going to the bathroom. Right, Goose? He's going to the bathroom. Not a lot of action out here. I mean, there's a couple people run in, and it looks like the landscapers, we just missed them. But I'd love for them to at least be out here. But that's okay. Maybe they'll show up again. Or maybe somebody else will show up again. You know, but, you know, when you have multiple dogs, I don't want a whole lot of distractions. It'd be nice to have a couple people here and there, but I want to make sure that I can pass, you know, maybe a person on a bike, a person running, just simple things, and neither dog engage, or I want both dogs to be indifferent, right? If you've seen it in my videos, you already know Goose, we don't have any problems there, so the focus is on Griz. Off-leash, Griz being off-leash is a very new thing, so we're last couple of days, he's been staying with me. Griz is not my dog. If you're new to my channel, it's a client's dog, and I do have permission for them to have him off leash. He's earned his freedom. He's done very, very well, but this is a very new thing for Griz. Yeah, you know what, Goose, I think we'll cut through the field here. Let's go this way. I don't like your breathing. All right, come on, guys, let's go. See, no matter what direction you turn, they should follow you. You shouldn't really have to call them. You just moving in a particular direction should be enough to get them to move with you. And this is why, you know, if you're new to my channel, I don't train dogs. I don't, you know, this traditional concept of training, you know, motivating dogs with food or toys or whatever to build skills, or to establish, you know, people think obedience is sit, stay, come, and drilling these things and having these quote training sessions, and I just do not live in that world. To me, this is social dynamics and relationship building. Yeah, Goose is hanging out in the shade. So if you build the correct relationship with your dogs, and you should be able to replicate that from dog to dog to dog, then you can predict the dog's next move. You can anticipate. You have a deeper understanding of what's happening on a social level. The goal is to build respect from the dog to you, like you would a human being, and the obedience naturally comes with it. You don't have to spend all this time drilling sit, stay, come, whatever. The dog will just do it as a byproduct of the relationship dynamic you've created. Yeah, Griz likes to play with Goose. All right, come on, guys. Let's cut through the field. Goose is not. Yeah, I know you want to play. Come on. No, Goose, I don't want you in the weeds either. Hey, come on. Looks like you gotta pee. Come on, girl. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. I don't want you in the weeds either. All right, Griz. Hey, this is what I was talking about earlier. There's a time and place for that. I don't mind that they play, but since Goose is you know, she's hot. I'm gonna get her back home. So now's not the time, Griz. Let's just walk, buddy. Let's get her back home here. If it were cooler, I wouldn't mind if you played. Like I said, we have a heat advisory today, so I don't want. You can hear how Goose is breathing. I don't want to push it. we got a shortcut through the fence right there, so we're not gonna, it's pretty much a straight shot to the apartment from here. Right, girl? Anyway, hey Ryan, appreciate you showing up, man. Got here live, buddy. We got them both out today. Griz is going home soon, so I figured before he goes home, got to get them both out. All right, that's a nice breeze. Okay, that feels good. Cooling them down. All right, we got 42 people in here. That's the most. Love it. Everybody, thank you for joining us. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm not a dog trainer. I teach social dynamics. I resolve behavioral issues in dogs. Did not train either one of these dogs. Griz is not my dog if you're new to this channel. He is a client's dog. Griz has done very, very well. He's earned his freedom. So that is why, and his owners have been doing this at home too. They've been letting him off leash, and he's been doing really, really well. So they said I could take him off leash. He's doing a great job. He's done a great job the last few days. If you missed there's 2 previous live streams. You could check out what we did those first 2 days. Griz did an excellent job. You know, there were people at the park over here, kids playing, people playing volleyball, basketball, people on bikes. There was a couple dogs out here. Griz did great. You know, if I had to establish a boundary, like as soon as I noticed that he wanted to go approach somebody, you know, if I just block him, get in front of him, let him know I don't want him to do that, he was very quick to adhere to that. That's what you want to see when you have a dog off leash. You're right, Ryan. I'm not a dog. I train people. That's right. The dogs are easy. Give them one last chance for glory. Pity that. Yeah, well, it is. We do got a nice breeze coming in. You see the clouds over here. It's like, usually when it gets that is hot, we got a heat advisory. And I saw that we got some storms coming, so you know all that pressure's building up. So at least we got a nice breeze to cool you off, Goose. But yeah, she just can't handle. It's cooled off a little bit since we've been out here. She just can't be out here in the heat too long. But this is enough, though, you know. Because you know I also don't want to, you know, make like an hour fucking long live stream. You know, quick to the point. This is just a demonstration, right? When you have multiple dogs off leash, as I said, don't focus on training, focus on building a particular type of relationship, and you can replicate your results from dog to dog to dog to dog. It's a leader-follower dynamic, right? And you see how they just turn and follow. I don't have to say shit to them, really. And that's, oops, sorry, Griz, I didn't do that. That's when you know you've built the right connection, right? You really don't even have to use it, because the idea I try to tell people is, you know, dogs don't train each other. Dogs don't talk to each other. They have a language, right? They communicate, but dogs don't. They're not verbally talking to each other. And yet, they build relationships with each other. Well, let's apply those same principles. Okay, we got somebody walking here in the distance, right, buddy? Let's apply those same principles. You know, a lot of it's energy. A lot of it's understanding that dogs see things socially through the lens of a dominance hierarchy. So if we understand that, then the goal is to create a hierarchy where every dog is beneath the human and adheres to the rules and boundaries, the leadership of the human. So this is why consistency is a crucial element. If you are not consistent in what you do, and consistent in the energy you put out, you will not build respect from your dog. And then things like this just won't be possible. See now, he sees the person. Right? He sees the person. But I do not want him to chase. Good boy. Good boy. Excellent. Yeah, I don't want him to put a good boy. Right? Nice job. Okay. Yeah, see, it's okay for him to acknowledge, right? The dog can be interested in the people the things in the environment, but we do not want them to engage, right? That's where things go off the rails. And you have people who have their dogs off leash and they have no control over them, and their dog's running up to everybody, hey, just like that. So we got 2 more people, kids, come here, Griz, right? See, he saw them. I don't want him to approach them though. Same thing, I should be able to call him away, right? See, he's looking back at him. He acknowledges him. You know, it's a woman in her, just like she's got a baby stroller and her daughter. I don't want Griz to run up to them. It would be rude and it would not be safe, right? So we have to make sure he understands that. He did very, very well. But now you have to learn to trust your dog too. You should establish the boundary, but then give them the opportunity to show you that they understand. Like if I remove myself from Griz now and these people pass, I'm looking for him to show me that he understands what it is I'm saying. Yep, just like that. He's showing that he understands what I'm saying to him. You know, where before he was showing a lot more interest. Hi, good morning. Hi. Just like that, the kid saying hello, right? The little kid saying hello. But you know, Griz is looking. But we don't need. It's like when you meet people, right? You don't engage with every person you run across, right? You might say hello or something, but you don't walk up to them and shake their hand, and it's not that personal, right? Same idea. So I did with my accessibility work. Found the same with some of the game. They have some of the problems I had. Sometimes it is all ego stroking. Hey, Griz, hold on. See, I know this is a shortcut here, but I'm gonna put the leash on Griz because we got landscapers in there. All right, come on, buddy. Yeah, Goose knows exactly where the shortcut is here. All right, Griz, come on. All right, everybody, thanks for joining. I see the kids over here, they like to fuck with the fence, which I don't particularly like, but it makes for easy access. Easy access. All right, let's go drop Goose off here. Yeah, you hear that breathing. Here, girl. All right. Okay. Yep, we'll drop Goose off, and I think we'll call it a day. Griz is going home soon. So we got people. Yeah. No, come on. Boy. See, just got a Goose following that, you know. This is how it should go. I don't know if you remember, you know, Goose used to be really scared of the landscapers. He's doing a lot better. Morning. Yeah, that's what they should do, guys. They should stop, let you pass if you got dogs. All right, excellent job. Hey, come here, buddy. Come here. Oh, okay, take it off here. Okay. Yeah, Goose is like, get me the fuck inside. Perfect. Yeah, you did a great job, bud. All right, Goose. I'm gonna let you in. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining. Oh hell yeah, Ryan. We're gonna get you there, man. That is new territory. You know, with like the service dogs and you being visually impaired. That's territory I've never crossed into. So that I'm actually really looking forward to that. Okay. Excellent. All right, guys. Again, thank you for joining. Hey, this is going to be posted very shortly, so if you have any questions or anything, just feel free to post, all right? Everybody, thank you for joining.